Welcome back. We've changed some buttons so we can continue the conversation. So where we left it off was the working busy. So those guys, yani, hello, nataka kuongea na Mariko. That was them.
Yes, they're actually really fun guys to work with.
How did you even find them?
It was actually hard. One was in a different country, one was in Kenya, and the other one was somewhere really rural in Kenya. So getting all three into a studio and then getting Kita, the artist I was telling you, to do the hook, and putting all four together was logistics.
So you just woke up one day and decided I want to work with Okimbizi? Now you start looking for them.
I started looking for them.
You know you're an executive producer. You're a producer, yes, but you're an executive producer as well.
Oh yes.
I feel like you play both those roles because this is your idea. Executive producers are very visionary.
You come up with the ideas.
Okay. So who else are you working with?
I'm working with Kolo. This is actually, I personally, it took me 2 years to make this track.
What?
Yeah. So this one, it's gonna be on some now levels.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is amazing. The beat, and we have a whole choir and everything. Like it's called Rehema. It's nice. Unbelievable. So that song, I can't wait for that one to come out also.
So you've already recorded, basically, even when you're talking about...
Yeah, now we're just doing... Remember the thing I told you, like you make the one hit hurt?
Okay. What?
Then another artist I really liked, I flew to ATL to do it, was Attitude the Dude.
Attitude, I remember Attitude.
So this is all now my 2020 work. So this is when things are getting back. I'm also working with another artist called King K. King K he's a gengeton artist in Stato.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a gengeton artist in States, and he's actually really, really good. And I can't really wait to drop that.
So, okay, you've jumped to 2020. Let me ask, business-wise, have things... First of all, Attitude the Dude. Hey, Attitude. It's been a minute since there's a jam I recorded, me, Attitude, and a bass.
Yo, you have a song with Attitude. This is such a small industry.
We never released it there because along the way I decided to get saved. Demakona thighs, ati jamana jaribu kum dice, ati jamana jaribu kum slice. Oh na 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 na. Then DNG took the beat and made it a gospel song.
Oh,
we did it with Steve
At least it had a happy ending. It had a happy ending.
But it was an amazing time. That time when that was way back.
But the thing, I always just feel like kukua musician Kenya nika kukua mataya.
Why are you saying that?
You'll sacrifice your whole life for these people, then they just kill you.
That's so deep for you to say that. So why you say that? Like for real?
For real, like I always just feel like lifespan ya musician Kenya ni 1 year.
So what do you think? Is it that the audience doesn't give the returns back? Is it that
people don't want to pay you, promoters don't want to pay you, producers don't want to produce you? Like it's really tough. Yeah, it's a really tough industry.
That's so good to know. That's good to hear, and other guys are hearing it. So people like you, and that's what I love about what you're doing. You don't have the option. You're the one who's decided to come back home and build this industry. And we are doing this interview now, but I think people will really, one of the joys of doing this interview, in fact, one of the reasons why I'm so happy, I'm even calling this the Diaspora series, is because the skills that you're learning uko majuu, I can see how you are intentionally coming back home
to help.
To help. I mean, this working busy story that you've given is just insane. But not only are you doing it within Kenya, you're also doing it within the diaspora. Going to Attitude the Dude, this K.
Yeah, King K.
King K that you've talked about. In fact, I'd really love to hear King K's music being played here back home.
Now, that's what I would love. I would really, really love to figure the logistics on how I'll get that song to blow. Actually, we didn't release it because of that. We were like, let me come back to Kenya and figure out the logistics.
And you say, man, dude, you're such a bridge. And for me, that's what I believe should happen. You see the way Nonini is a bridge?
Yes.
For you, a connect from the diaspora back local. I feel like you're a bridge also both ways. Both of you have the bridge both ways. And big ups for that, man. That's why that's I think the biggest joy of this interview series for me. It's to show how partnerships can happen. So, but I want to come back to you in the business. And the question that I have is, so what happens, man?
So by the time I got out of hospital and I took a break from life, I literally took a break from life for like, I think 2017, 2018, I took a break from life. And by 2020, I think I started getting better. I went back to America.
So you took a break from life, you came home?
I came to Kenya.
You came to Kenya?
I just took a break from everything.
For how long?
I think 2 years.
What?
Yeah, I took a break from life. I said I don't want to deal with music. I don't want to deal with beats. I don't want to deal with production. I don't want to deal with anything. I just wanted to just figure out my health, get my diabetes in check, and just continue with my life. So by the time I felt like I had everything right, I had to be, I even got like a personal trainer, like someone to just walk me around and take me to the gym every day, like to force me. Like I really needed to lose weight just to be able to regulate my sugars. So
were you, I mean, and again, you don't have to answer this, but you're telling me you were in such a good financial position, you're able to take a 2-year break?
Yeah. I still had some investments in Kenya.
Aha,
Yeah.
we skipped that bit.
Yeah.
So we skipped a bit where there's a lot of investments that you were bringing from the finances you're making. You are sort of put them into investments to have passive income.
Yeah, so I'd started a gas station, I constructed a gas station, but then I had not finished it. So around 2020, I went back to States and I opened the same thing again, the same business. It's not as big as it was, but then it's still growing.
You opened it alone?
Yes, this time alone.
So that means that business died?
Yeah, that one died. That one died, dead, in the water, gone.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was painful. But then, you know, that's the thing. I always tell people dedication beats talent any day. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how gifted or how rich you are. Dedication will beat talent any day. No, you can't beat someone who just doesn't know how to quit.
It's true. It's true. I tell Derek the same thing. Consistency will always elevate us to the top.
Always. Like, I can imagine how long you have been doing this. I'm honestly seeing this becoming a series that literally TV stations will be begging you to air.
But I'm not even interested in them. but that's a different convo. But man, what I'm happy about that story is there's a statement you said about failure when we're starting off this thing, which is
so, the easiest way to succeed is to give failure as many chances as possible.
Like, you're not talking from theory. That time when you were saying it in the beginning of the interview, it sounds like theory, but you're talking about a business that you're telling us is doing $3 million, even if it's gross revenue.
Yeah.
You get 300 million shillings, guy, and with change. You get that business going down. That is painful.
Yeah.
But you are now talking about restarting that business.
I already did. And what is this? And when I went back to 2020, that's when I was able to finish the first gas station in Kenya. And then now the second one is almost complete. It's ready to start servicing.
Okay, bro, 2 questions. I mean, now the questions start coming back. First and foremost, 2020 is probably one of the hardest years that our generation has experienced.
Corona was horrible, especially in the healthcare industry. But then if you had everything online, you kind of survived with telemedicine.
What is telemedicine?
Telemedicine is basically you talk to your doctor through a camera.
So that's now the solution you began offering.
Yes.
So, like, are you back to where you are, or you are?
No. I'm not yet to those numbers, but then I'm really, funny enough, as much as I like.
Are you breaking even?
Oh yes.
But are you in profit?
I'm in profit.
That company that you've restarted now again is in profit.
Is in profit.
Well, you're here.
Things are working. There's a manager. But then what is this? The gas stations are also working. Funny enough, I really want to continue making more gas stations.
Okay, now let's talk about reinvesting back home.
Yeah.
I'm extremely passionate about this conversation from 2 perspectives. One, and most importantly, from the perspective of Kenyans understanding the hustle that people in the diaspora go to send back money to them.
It's not easy. You guys think we plant money. There are these trees you guys. See tuna.
This is crazy. And I say that because there are Kenyans here are ripping off a lot of the people in the diaspora. Family members are ripping off their family members in the diaspora who are sending them money
I'm
to
in
build.
jail. You know that phone call I've received how many times?
And you're in jail.
Lead to me a bill. That's the worst form of reverse psychology, man. Like, what the hell? It's a family member. This is my last phone call.
Yeah. So it's a huge problem.
It's a huge phone call.
I tell you, phone call. This guy, when you start to phone call,
It's a huge, like, I think Safaricom makes money out of this.
Yeah.
It's a whole industry in Kenya just to rip off guys in Stato. And you guys in Stato work really hard. You can find someone who's working 3 jobs, 4 jobs. Like, literally. Someone who's a truck driver during the day and is literally a nurse at night. And then this guy is still going to school. And anajilipia school fees. Like, people work so hard in the diaspora. It's unbelievable. Like, you might see guys with a house and a car, but then the guy doesn't even use his mattress. He bought it for nothing. Like, the guy is just 24 hours jobo. And then when you hear stories of guys telling you that he's been sending money for 10 years to build a house, he's just been getting pictures. He comes here, he finds even hata shamba ikununuliwa.
Yep.
Yo, those stories are really sad.
Those stories are heartbreaking. So you started reinvesting back in Kenya.
I had started earlier. It's just I think I needed to go back to get more capital to finish up my projects in Kenya.
And why? Is it that you have a dream to come back?
Honestly, I want to open Kenya's first virtual record label. I want to open a digital record label. I want to open the Keggah app. It's already in beta testing right now. So I've been making beats since I was like 8-5. So I have such a huge collection. I can release a song every day for the rest of my life and I still won't run out of beats. Like, it's just unlimited. So we've categorized and created a database of all the beats I've been making: hip hop, reggae, R&B, and we're trying to create a mobile record label where anyone from anywhere, like the way I was saying, I get like all these DMs instead of the back and forth habari nitumie WhatsApp, nitumie, like you just go on the app, find whatever track you want. Once you buy it, it's totally yours. Then we are partnering with 47 different studios in different counties where you can book your studio time. Your beat will be ready there. You go record. Then you come back on the app. It's sent to us. I do the mixing. I do the mastering. Send it back to you. And finally, give you different marketing options so that, because remember what we were saying, like a lot of artists don't know how to go through this whole process. Like, we give you different marketing options, like the same way if you are signed to a record label, but now you're literally signed to yourself. You're just using our digital system.
Oh man, that is just beautiful. I love that. So first of all, that is so forward thinking. I love that. How soon do you think this thing can come out? With coming out?
Probably as soon as we're done with the beta testing stage, probably in the next 3 months.
Okay, love it. I love it. So
maybe sooner if my programmers and my Indian guys can start talking more often.
Yeah. I get it. So then the petrol station. So you come in, like, is that part of the investments that you did?
Those were some of the things I had already started, but I had to stall when I went through my 2016. And as soon as I got better, I was able to restart fixing them. I started with just one. I finished it. The second one, we're still working on it.
Okay, let me ask you. So you start with one and you leave. You come back home, put Kenyans to start running this thing, because you're not going to. Your time is precious. You're not going to be sitting there, but you sound like a systems guy. You put in place systems, and people follow those systems to enable a certain result to come out.
Yes.
Has that been successful here?
My business in America, I get one meeting like a month and like a few emails. This one, I get a call every 2 hours, like literally email Rebecca. There's some few basic things. It's hard to find someone who can really be a good manager in Kenya. And I think,
what's the problem? Integrity?
The worst thing is everyone is trying to steal from you. Everyone is trying to steal from you. One of my friends told me the worst thing you can do is start an industry in Kenya because everyone will try to steal from you somehow. And it's really hard. Like, okay, CCTVs and all those things help, but then I'm telling you, guys are creative. Guys are so creative. You have no idea. Guys are creative. The driver, the guy doing the delivery, the guy who's the manager, the guy who's selling, everyone is just trying to steal from you. And you know what they don't realize is when the business fails,
They're jobless.
they're all jobless.
So that's the kind of, you see, your story is not unique to the diaspora, and these are the kind of things that I want to highlight, especially to Kenyans in this
It's hard
place.
to run a business in a Kenya from America.
Diasporans are willing and they want to come back and invest in this place, but we keep saying that it's the politicians who are corrupt, but the politicians are just the best of the best. They've made it to the
That's
top.
Champions League.
That's Champions League. But you here who are playing Division 1 and Division 2, you're still got the same DNA. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to change, because you are telling me you're using your hard-earned money to come home, to reinvest, to build up places, to give people jobs, and they are stealing from you. You're talking about doing 2 petrol stations. You're visionary. You're a kind of guy who will probably do 50. How many jobs is that for Kenyans? I'm so pissed off about this thing, Yani, because you're just one of many other stories. And people in Kenya need to see this. You get what I mean? They need to see a Kenyan, their fellow brother and sister, sacrificing their hard-earned chump to reinvest back home to better ourselves as a nation. All I vented there, but then I'm upset for you. I'm upset for you.
Wusa.
Awusad, man. Come, I didn't even know that thing was in me, that campaign. Imetoka sawa, lakini kweli. Am I lying? But
Very true.
how can the landscape be made better for you? What are you asking for?
I think the only thing anyone asks when they want to better your life, or they're trying to help you, they're honestly trying to help you, is just honesty. Like, that's just the list you can do. Just be honest. If it's a contract we signed, just
On it.
on it. If you said my first 10 performances I'm gonna pay you, on it. There is no reason for me to ever work with you again if you don't honor it. There's actually this guy who called me and told me he wants to start, like, and this is a horrible business, he wants us to start a bar, nimpatie capital. But I told him, you remember when we used to hustle in the studio? Our first business between me and you, we were trying to sell my bike so that we go get studio time. You went and sold the bike and you bounced. If I can't trust you with the bike, how am I going to trust you with stock?
But that's first of all a huge story that you left out. You loved this music so much you went and sold your bike at the same time. But now you see exactly what you're trying to say. Lack of integrity. How are you going to trust is
Once
very
it's broken,
it's gone.
I even say trust is bigger than love. Like, love is kind of shaky. Trust and loyalty, that's everything.
Yo, dude. So that's why you're here now.
That's why
because you don't trust
I don't trust.
I listen to what you're saying. You're saying I don't want to be here. There are other places I can be doing, or I can offer this job to somebody if they were trustworthy. But I can't find somebody who's trustworthy, so I need to be here.
I can't find that person who won't collaborate with the driver, the person who won't tell them just weka nusu, rudisha nusu, ama uzia mtu mwingine nusu. I can't.
Man, I don't even have a solution, but I think part of the solution is having the conversation that we as Kenyans, there's some level of integrity that we totally lack within the East African region. Hence, even why our Tanzanian brothers are also skeptical about us.
True.
Somalis send money with each other to be brought and sent to a neighbor, and all of it comes.
As even with MPESA, we don't trust each other. Like, you know how many times I have to verify that number. I know as soon as I send, that phone is off. If I mess up, that one is gone. That's a crazy challenge. Okay, on a happier note, I still love the fact that despite all these challenges, and I think this is my pushback to the diaspora, the people from the diaspora watching, despite all these challenges, you're still fighting for this. Because for you, there's something about home. Yes. Throughout your whole story, the one thing that has been constant that I've had is your love for home. You've never forgotten home, despite where you are in the world.
Why?
I don't want to say east or west, home is best. It's because I think that's such a cliche saying. Don't limit yourself by any quote.
I've heard you say that.
I would honestly say, as much as I've been to so many other different countries and I have really traveled, like there's something about just being there's a comfortability you have in Kenya that you cannot find anywhere else. Like the quality of life in other countries might be higher, but the quantity of life in Kenya is very high.
What do you mean when you say the quantity?
The quantity. We have time today to sit down, eat nyama choma. We'll have time today to just sit down, drink juice. Today, what are we doing? We have nothing. Let's watch a series. In States, hey, every minute counts. Like every minute. Like it's like you're literally on a wheel. You're being chased. Like you're on a wheel. Like it's like that system forces you to just work every single second. And then as soon as you work, you pay bills. Then you work again. Then you pay bills. Then you work again. Then someone comes and cons you from Kenya telling you some funny story.
You've gone back there. It's okay, Usa.
Usa.
Let me ask, relationship-wise?
I'm dating a musician right now.
Okay.
Yeah. We decided not to make it public and just give it a while until let's enjoy the privacy. Let's just enjoy having our time together.
And with your daughter?
She'll be coming to Kenya, but then she goes to a special school specifically for autism. So bringing her to Kenya is good. We're trying to see if we can find a really good school in Kenya, and so that she can move here also. That's our real dream. We want to all be here in Kenya. But then right now, the school she's in is literally the best school in Massachusetts for autism.
Okay, I'll throw a parting shot for you. Yani, first and foremost, thank you so much for this conversation. I really feel like I've holistically gotten to know you. You'll be very shocked. I didn't know that much about you from other perspectives. From the music, at least I knew a bit. But to hear all that you have achieved and all that you're doing, Yani, just big ups. Thank you so much, even for just coming to this show and openly sharing. My parting shot for you is to speak to the musicians within the Kenyan music industry. That you can look in directly in the camera.
One of the things I would say is, honestly, we are one of the most talented countries in East Africa. I really, really want to work with so many more people. I really want to work with so many new artists, people who are coming up, people who are established. I'll be honored to one day produce for Saudi Soul. And any single Kenyan artist, as long as you're a Kenyan artist, I honestly want us to be one of those leading. I want us to be the Nigeria of music, and I really, really believe we can. Like, we just need to get a little bit more organized, get a little bit more strategical about making music. It should not be a hobby. It should actually be a business. And like any businesses, those checks and balances have to work. You should never ever get into music without balancing your books. Like, you should always be counting how much I've put in and how much I'm getting out. So for my last shot, I would like to say thank you so much for having me, and I was more than happy to be on CTA.
And cut.